Okay, hello there, and thank you for tuning in to another edition of Paul the Guzman Presents Art. So, I just want to say thank you to some recent subscribers who recently subscribed to the channel. And if you're new to the channel, I would ask that you consider subscribing to the channel because it'll make me very happy. Also, I want to take a moment to acknowledge that we are on the unceded and traditional territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations, also known as the city of Vancouver. So we are situated here in the Strathcona area of Vancouver. Actually, to be precise, it was 716 East Hastings Street, and we are visiting a really nice, cozy gallery called the Outsiders and Others to have a look at to have a look at a solo exhibition by Benjamin Brandeis. So I'm just gonna turn around. Gonna go have a look and see. There's like the placard over there. And then, actually, you know what we're gonna do? So we're gonna stay outside for a little bit because I want to show you this piece that's on the window. I'm not sure if actually is gonna be easy to see, but because of the glare, but it's the frontispiece of the gallery, and thought I'd just show you that one first. I'm gonna go back a little bit. I know it's not the best vantage point, but we're gonna go inside the gallery and have a look at the works, okay? And also show the poster. It is on till July 29th of this year, so we have another couple of weeks to see it. And we're gonna go in. So the gallery is open Wednesday to Saturday from 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And right now, as I mentioned, we are going to go and see the work by Benjamin Brandeis called Wrestle and Weep, which constitutes a bunch of, I shouldn't say the word a bunch because it's not very professional, but anyways, it's mixed media works. And some of them are on paper and some of them are actually on board. Like this particular piece that we're seeing is on board. The thing about the work is that you really have to go and read the titles because the titles will actually tell you a lot about the work. That this particular piece that we're looking at, called Another Hand for the Player Piano. And we're just gonna go in and have a look at the texturing of this work. So just to reiterate, Outsiders and Others Gallery is a gallery that is dedicated to showcasing works by self-taught artists or those who identify as self-taught. Most of the time they are going to be people who never went into the academic system or institution or haven't really gone through formal education. But you know, there's that compulsion to actually still make art, right? So this particular piece is called Phantom of the Operator. And it's a work on it's a work on layered paper, and he also uses masking tape, found paper, and acrylic. I really like the texturing of this works, and there's a certain sort of play of words, especially when you're looking at the work. There's also a lot of faces, you know, when you look at the faces over there. Now, a little bit of information about Benjamin Brandeis is that he is a musician and he's been making work for the past 5 years or so. And I think it's actually quite significant that I reveal that because a lot of the things that I found with musicians when they go into art is that there's a certain sense of layering, polyphony, sort of like looking at different media and trying to sort of like come up with compositions. You know, it's the entire sense of the work. It's like a musical composition. This particular work that we're looking at is called Breaking Free from her own shoreline. We're just gonna go back, have a look at the piece right there. If you'll forgive me, I'm still getting used to this new gimbal that I have, but it's really great to have a gimbal to stabilize things. This next piece that we're going to look at is called Please Continue to Hold as Your Call is Very Important to Us. Just going to go in, have a look at it, and then we're going to go back in. A lot of the works incorporate found objects, probably found pieces of paper. You know, when you're walking down the street and you see all these posters, and the old posters are layered underneath new posters, and so over time it creates a really beautiful palimpsest, or even an archaeology of past concerts, and an archaeology of past social encounters, I guess. And that's one of the things that I really enjoy about the work of the artist, is that there's a lot of places to explore. And this next piece we're going to look at is called Staring Through Walls. I'm going to have to back up a little bit because this is a fairly big piece, and I really quite like this piece. And we're just going to go back in. There's also a lot of text in a lot of the pieces, and I'm a big fan of text. Text and image is something that I really quite enjoy. There's something kind of like literary, or maybe just kind of like commenting on literature and storytelling. And you look at all these little areas of color explosion, and then it's also kind of being tamed by certain white areas here too. I love this little phantom mask over there. I don't know, when I first saw this painting, I always kept on going back to this image. And there's a lot of other ones here too. Like, for example, this one. It's another face. Because of the persistence of faces, you can sort of like think about the work as kind of self-portraits, even autobiographical. So we're gonna go swing by another wall. And, okay, let's see if I can actually get rid of the glare over here. These are a couple of pieces. The first piece is called Boo. The next one is called Dance With Me or I'll Dance With You. And these are both pieces on paper. They're acrylic, oil stick, and acid-free. On acid-free 135-pound paper. And then the last piece we're going to look at is this piece, which is All That for a New Pair of Pants and an Ill-Fitting Hat. There's a lot of humor in when you're looking at the titles of the work. And there's a lot of little corners that you can go into just to try and sort of like lose yourself in the entire work. You know, like this one to me is a bit more kind of like architectural. Maybe that there's this reference because of this image here where almost like a geodesic. And then there's like this exit sign over here. So this one's a bit more architectural from the rest of them, but there's still some like semblances of faces. Like, for example, if you look at this one, like this particular thing, you know, That's an eye, and when you look at it, it almost looks bullish. Actually, it's kind of interesting because when I'm looking at it from the camera, I can see it better than when I'm actually looking at it in front. Maybe it just kind of like condenses the image. So which one is my favorite one? Let me just see here. I'm going to turn around and we're going to go over here and hold on. Okay, I'm just going to go and do that. So I think that's all I'm going to go and show you today. The show is by Benjamin Brandeis over at Outside and Others Gallery, which is at 716 East Hastings Street. They are open Wednesday to Saturday from 11 o'clock in the morning till 4 p.m. And if you lasted this long, you must obviously like the video, so click the thumbs up button. Also, if you wouldn't mind considering subscribing to the channel, it's free and it'll make one content maker very happy. So on that note, thank you very much for tuning in. Have a wonderful day and I'm out of here. Thank you.